My teacher said I would be nothing in life, so I embarrassed her in front of everyone. Ms. Thompson had it out for me since day one of senior year. She taught advanced literature, a class I actually enjoyed, but she seemed determined to crush any confidence I had. Every time I raised my hand, she'd roll her eyes. If I submitted a creative writing piece, she'd mark it up with red pen and write things like derivative or lack step. One day, I submitted a short story I'd worked on for weeks. It was personal, about my parents' divorce and how it affected me. The next class, she held it up. "This is what happens when someone thinks they can be a writer without understanding basic structure," she announced, waving my paper around. "Dylan, not everyone is meant to be a writer. Some people are meant to fix cars or wait tables." The class went silent. I felt my face burning as she continued tearing apart my work line by line. That night, I cried, then got angry, then made a decision. Instead of quitting, I started submitting my writing to literary magazines under a pen name. I worked twice as hard, staying up late to perfect my craft while still maintaining my grades in her class. 3 months later, I received an email that changed everything. A prestigious young writers competition had selected my story as a finalist. The prize was $5,000 and publication in their annual anthology. The ceremony would be held at our local library, just 2 blocks from school. I told no one except my mom, who promised to be there. The day of the ceremony arrived. As the finalists gathered, I nearly fainted when I saw Ms. Thompson walk in. She was one of the judges. She didn't recognize me at first, busy talking with the other judges. When the ceremony began, they announced the runners-up, then called my pen name for first place. I walked to the stage, heart pounding. Ms. Thompson's face went from confusion to shock to recognition. "This winning story," the head judge said, "captured the raw emotion of adolescent pain with remarkable maturity." As I accepted the award, I looked directly at Ms. Thompson. "I'd like to thank my advanced literature teacher," I said into the microphone, my voice surprisingly steady. "When she told me I would never be a writer and should consider fixing cars instead, it gave me the determination to prove her wrong. Thank you for showing me that sometimes the people meant to guide us can be completely wrong about our potential." The audience went silent, then erupted in applause. Several teachers from our school who had come to support the event were staring at Ms. Thompson, whose face had turned a deep crimson. After the ceremony, my mom hugged me tight, tears in her eyes. The head judge offered me an internship at her publishing company for the summer. As we were leaving, Ms. Thompson approached me, her expression unreadable. "Congratulations," she said stiffly. I didn't realize I cut her off. "It's okay. Not everyone is meant to be a teacher. Some people are meant to fix cars or wait tables." I walked away, $5,000 richer and finally believing in myself. In the silent hours after that life-changing moment, I allowed myself to truly feel the weight of every disappointment and every slight. Each memory, once a burden, had transformed into a quiet strength that propelled me to embrace my future with fierce optimism, and hope burned on. The next day at school, word had spread. Students whispered as I passed, but this time with admiration. In class, Ms. Thompson avoided calling on me. When my final paper came back, it had an A+ and no comments. She'd learned her lesson, and so had I. Sometimes the best revenge is simply becoming exactly what someone said you never could.